Go. Okay. Thank you. Welcome to today's live. Today we are going to talk about PDW. Getting the most out of your clothing by looking at, can you wear it for play, can you wear it for dinner, and can you wear it for work? And not all things can be PDW, and that's fine, right? But for a lot of what you buy, you do want to hit all the PDW marks because that makes you smarter. You get more use out of your clothing, and that's a really good thing. So when Dion and I take you through the clothing today, we are going to give each one of the items like a PDW score. And I want to explain though, when we talk about play is relative, right? It depends on who you are, what environment you're in, and what stage of your life. So for me, play, when I think about play, I think about things like, can I wear it to Paris Fashion Week, which in my dreams is where I am right now, but I'm here with you guys in New York, which is fabulous, but truth be told, we'd rather be in Paris right now. But you know, is it Paris Fashion Week is a play moment? Being on the sidelines when your kids are playing hockey or soccer is a play moment. And for Dion, that is absolutely her worst nightmare, and that is not a play moment. But play might be for Dion having brunch in Brooklyn or wherever. So that's play. Dinner can be hot date night to regular night with your partner. And then work, again, that's new definitions as well. But when we talk about work, things that get a W score, we think about things that are making us feel our strongest, most confident. And that might be when we're working from home and we're Zooming, or when we're working from home and we just need that mental state of mind. And then it obviously pertains to an office environment. And there was a really good article in the New York Times, I don't know, like 2 weeks or so ago, but it was talking about the psychology of people who, you know, how you feel when you get dressed, if it makes you more productive at work. And it was interesting. I used to work at American Express before I started Tibi, and we were all so excited when they had Casual Fridays. And what we found, though, was that, especially for a lot of women, once they started getting too casual, it just lost some of the authority and some of the respect. You know, like all of a sudden when your boss was showing up in a pair of jeggings and a sweatshirt, like it was hard to take them seriously.
For sure.
So, and the men by default, actually for Casual Fridays, men never, you know, Harvey Golub, the chairman at the time, like never came in a pair of leggings and a sweatshirt. But it was like men dressing down was never really dressing down.
Yeah, so true.
Yeah.
It's like usually a trouser or like a jean, probably with a blazer. Which,
exactly, especially like in American Express world, it was like country club wear. So, you know, when we talk about work, it's also solving that challenge of the world is a little more dressed down now. Obviously, you're working from home a lot. So how do you have that casual attitude, but you still convey creativity and knowledge and, you know, authority depending on the job. So why don't we talk about your outfit?
Perfect. So obviously with this blazer, which is our August Houndstooth, this is something obviously that most people would wear to work with the full suit, either in the slim pant or in the curved pant, and back to like the tall boot that I'm wearing. But I wanted to style this how I would probably wear it for play. For me in Brooklyn, like that means going to brunch in Brooklyn or something. I feel like with this, with the denim, it chills it out a little bit more, and then with the tall boot, just gives it a little bit of, you know, an extra texture and shine. But obviously this is not going to be something that I'm going to do when I go hang out in the park. Like if I'm hanging out in the park, then I'd probably wear like a sweatshirt or the fleece with this, and then maybe one of the tall brown shaft boots or something to kind of make it a little bit more chilled out. Because like especially, you know, patent leather is one of those things that it dresses up any outfit. So here it's definitely something I can also even transition the same outfit into if you have a more relaxed office environment or a fashion office. This is such a great way to look put together but still comfortable. So having this denim, when it's structured in more of a trouser style denim, you can really get away with it for that casual Friday moment or for the less formal office attire.
So, okay, so for this one, play can extend to brunch,
Definitely.
right? And probably a sweater around your neck or something. To
Just to chill it down.
Yeah, take it down one more notch. And then for work, what's great about this for work is It obviously here can go into a very creative environment with, if you're just pure ad agency, magazine, like all of your stereotypical creative environments, it works. It also works for a lot of you techies out there. I get a lot of requests from females in the tech industry who, everyone around you is in this hoodie. So how do you have style but also not look like you care too much? And this is kind of like I don't care so much, but I just happen to look creative and interesting. And we've talked about this before, but I'm going to reiterate it. Creativity is the new, most highly sought after attribute in an employee. I was reading on LinkedIn, they had done a study of what are the things that employers are looking for. And creativity is the number one character that they're looking for. And it makes sense, right? Because, back in the day, if someone was really excellent at math, you really needed them. Well, now by and large, you have got computers and an Excel spreadsheet that can do all of that for you. So yes, like you have to understand math, but at some point, someone's ability to take all those numbers and understand them from a creative point of view is becoming the more interesting person. The person who can take all those algorithms and say, what do we do with it? Do we pay attention to it? Do we not pay attention to it? And so what that means is, if you are in an office or on a Zoom call and you are trying to decipher the numbers and the information in a creative way, if you are dressed like Dion, everyone will hear you right away. They assume that whatever comes out of your mouth is going to be interesting and highly creative. So, if you are sitting there trying to convince people that you are extremely creative and you are wearing some boring ass suit, it's like you've got to jump over that hurdle to begin with. So this is like the ultimate LinkedIn outfit. You guys asked me what to wear even on interviews. I wouldn't wear the denim on an interview, but I would switch it out for the Marion Twill black culotte.
Perfect, yes. That way it's not too buttoned up, but it still looks polished. Also, just the nature of this blazer alone makes it very PDW, because you see you have the asymmetrical snaps that can also be snapped another way too, just like the clean classic version. So that can actually make it a little bit more chill as well if you have it here, whereas the other way looks very artfully done and interesting. Also the sleeves, making it a little bit more casual in daytime, I had them unsnapped and rolled up because the sleeves actually have fully functional snaps here.
So the good rule of thumb there is when you guys are nervous about an interview, what do I wear? And I don't want to show up is the interviewer hey, I'm out for my first interview. The way to do it is to break up the suit. Don't wear the denim, but if you were wearing the black tropical wool or culotte or something like that, that would be nice and polished. Head to toe is a little too bankery. Okay, cool. All right, one thing I'm wearing that I want to show you guys in terms of PDW is these are, we have two new collars that are coming out on Friday, and but you guys are seeing them here first. And if you want them, what you'll need to do is DM either Ashton, Silver, or Teresa, and we'll give you all those deets later on. But these are coming out, and they're great. And what's great about them is if you're wearing something like the navy blue Luca suiting rain, what am I wearing? I can't remember. Anyways, if you're wearing this blazer that's the same as what Dion was wearing, only it's in this amazing twill, then this is something that if I were in Paris right now, which I'm trying hard to pretend like I am, then throwing the collar on just gives it one extra level of creativity and interest. And it's also something that if you are just wearing a plain shirt, then it also gives it interest, right? It's just one of the things that we got really interested in when we were sitting at home for months on end was, what were the things that we could create that could come on and off and completely update or morph an outfit with just one easy change. And we were interested in collars. Collars have been out there for a while. They've been piquing our interest, but of course it's always important we do it in the Tibi vein. So we've done it in our repurposed menswear shirting, and it's got our little signature ties on it. And of course you can wrap it, you can do all those kinds of things with it that you should be able to do. And it's giant and it's oversized and it needs to be because that makes a statement. Statements are good.
So, this is the Miriam Tool pants. I actually have them pulled up, which is, you've seen it normally with just the self belt, but I also want to just show you how to pair that with a contrast belt as well. And I have the boucle alpaca sweater tucked in. So what's great about this sweater, what makes it really a PDW, is that it really can be played back to those denim culottes I was wearing, or even this look with like a loafer sneaker. And then for work, this is a very work appropriate outfit. I like the head to toe tonal colorway as well because it's still very subdued and like a neutral, especially if you feel like a bright color is a little too aggressive for work, it's too attention grabbing, but it's still really beautiful and nice on. And then also, so I've done play work and then dinner. Like if I were wearing this with this boot and like a different earring, it's a completely different look. So this is a head to toe look that can really be PDW.
And one of the reasons too that this can be PDW, one of the areas we really specialize in is the whole notion of clothing that is refined, but it's still chill. And so, you know, the difference is that with some other brands that maybe identify a little more in the like bohemian or rugged or urban area, the clothing has a little shredded to it, a little overwashing to it. And so what happens for us is when you've got a pant in this Miriam twill, it's still super refined. I mean, Dion could be wearing a really beautiful black silk blouse and strappy sandals, and the pants don't look like she like grabbed the wrong thing out of her closet. So for me, being a mom, being busy, traveling on subways and trains all the time, it's really, really important that I do have these pants in my closet that are just work so freaking hard that they can't go to dinner, they can't go to the office. If I had on a big boot with it and a humongous sweater, I absolutely could go to the hockey match and not look like that just redonkulous mom that's wearing like the wedge sneaker. And it's, you know, it is like the perfect pant for that reason. So that is, you know, they don't have to be Tibi pants when you're looking for those pants. Stella does a really nice clean pant, so does Acme. But those are the differences in these brands. When you go to a store and a boutique or shop person on the floor, a department store tries to help you, those are the distinguishing things sometimes you don't really get from them is, you know, what are the differences in these pants that make it right for your lifestyle versus someone else's?
Also, I just wanted to show as well, if I'm going to take this belt off and take this and untuck this sweater, for sure it could go to the hockey match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
not the shoes. I would probably do the brown boots instead, but it's just a little bit more chilled out without the belt. When you have it brought up, it makes it more dinner or work.
Even like at hockey or at the sidelines for soccer, like if you did even like a gross like UGG slide, and then a pair of like chunky socks in it.
I love it. Yeah.
Just that's the way we talked so much about shoes last week. And one of the things I didn't get to summarize yet was how shoes can either bring down an outfit or bring it up. So a Birkenstock, a gray sock, some coverage at the neck there, and you really are appropriate for the hockey.
It's also very like Olsen twin at the airport. I support it. Also, I wanted to show this belt too because when we talk about cost per wear, so this is just a really interesting belt with nice silver hardware, but then you also have for styling this beautiful skinny belt to play with as well. So that's two belts in one. So this comes in navy and in this beautiful brown. And it's really nice because when you're trying to get that CMC ratio, sometimes it takes bringing up a pant to make it a little bit more, a little bit less chill to make it more modern. So really great belt. And I'm going to show you actually how to make this even more dressed up with this pant.
Another thing that we came up with that we've been getting a lot of questions on is what is a sandwich and why are sandwiches bad? So what we talked about last week is shoe sandwiches. And shoe sandwiches are when you have that little bit of skin, that sliver of skin like that goes in between the cuff of your pants and the top of your boot. So right now I'm wearing the the short boot. I don't know the names of any of our things, okay? I can draw them, I can sketch them, but I don't know the names of them. Anyways, this is our short boot. And it's narrow enough that it comes up under the cuff of the jeans. But this is what we were talking about. When you have that, see, I've got that like nasty little, it looks like someone wrapped a Band-Aid around the, right there. I don't like that, okay? So we don't like sandwiches. You might like sandwiches. We don't like them on our body. I want to remind everyone that if you really disagree with something that I say, that is totally fine. All Dion and I try and do here is try and unpack the things in our closet have always annoyed us, have always like, that we've just known like, okay, we would never do that, but we try and think like, wait, why would we never do it? And how could we explain it to people who get annoyed as well? So if that's always annoyed you, if you've never felt as cool and you've wondered why, see if you've got little sandwiches on your legs. And if you do, that's probably why you've been following. This is pretty.
So that same pant that I was wearing, back to the chalky draped tank, and then paired back to a white strappy shoe, just makes it such a perfect dinner outfit. But then again, this could also extend to work if you were wearing maybe one of the loafers or a tall, slim boot, and then play as well if you did this with a loafer or a sneaker. So
yeah, and I think also focusing on shoes here, I think the white shoe gives it a little bit of irony, and it's what is not so expected. And so I think that, you know, if you were wearing a black pump, admittedly, like, it would look pretty. It would absolutely be nice. But when you put the white shoe on with it, all of a sudden it becomes style. And you have this, it's really interesting. And I would also say you could do the boot that I'm wearing right now.
Yeah, would really be chic.
And that, like, that weird shine would be really good. And so, you know, a lot of you guys have asked me, like, what is that one element, that element of strange, that cleverness, that off balance? Like, how do you articulate that further? And it's just that when something gets one note, when it gets very straight up, that's when it feels off. And so if you just pick out that one thing in your closet that it was not at all what you would have naturally gone for, and do this, go to a department store, see what they recommend that you wear, and then do the opposite. I bet that'll work too. Like you'll really find something then that is just a little off, because while they have very good intents for helping you, they absolutely do, they are also telling you what the most people like. What shoe did most people pick out? So kind of like, you know, when someone leads you over to that lovely table of rock studs, just think, maybe I'll go over here and try something a little different. And I bet it'll make you feel a lot better for doing that.
Very fair. Yes, because if I were wearing a black shoe with this, just very average.
Yeah.
But also I want to mention too, having this hardware really does make it something that can do work, play, and dinner, because having just a little bit of hardware here elevates the top even more.
All right, Rain is gonna be upset with me, but I'm gonna bring her on really quickly because she happened to dress like this today, and she is going to be the picture child for a story I did yesterday on when you can wear an Hermes scarf specifically and a luxury branded scarf in general. So you're wearing Old Bottega,
yeah,
right?
it's a vintage Bottega scarf.
Yeah.
And I did not get any sleep last night, guys, so please excuse my appearance. That is why I'm super casual, comfortable. I wear loafers because I'm at work, but I also just want to be as comfortable as possible.
So I think that we can agree that I gave everyone a test yesterday on my stories and Instagram, and it asked you things like, you know, about, do you have kids? Have you had Botox? See me bruise right here? The answer is absolutely yes. So like, have you done those things? And if you answered yes to any of them, it kind of takes you out of the running for wearing a branded scarf like that. And I'm going to say for certainty that you're going to check no on all of those boxes.
Kids, no Botox.
No Botox going on in there.
Yeah.
So I just, you know, the bottom line is, Rain is wearing the scarf with a lot of irony, and it is in a way that I can't pull off. And so clearly, she is irony and interest and cleverness personified there. So I don't even have to talk anymore. Now you have a visual idea of when to wear a scarf and when not to wear a scarf.
Okay. So one last one with these pants, just because I need to show you all the permutations here. This is something that I could definitely wear to work, and then also go to brunch or do a nice little stroll on the weekend to Brooklyn and still feel very appropriate. Now, if I want to make this go to dinner, I feel like the shoe needs to be either that strappy white or black that I was wearing. I could do these, and I have an earring in, so that can actually give me a little bit more shine. And also depending on where I'm going. If I'm going to like a bistro in Paris, I would definitely wear this outfit. You know?
Definitely. But if you are like date, you're not gonna go like fireplace coverage. I think.
No, this is like cottagecore comes after like 15
Yeah.
days. So like I think it needs to have. I would probably have either go for big fit skin when you're thinking about date.
Yeah.
So that means either skin on feet or up top, and then have a covered shoe.
Yeah.
So it's just finding that balance, but it still really works. Also, this is something that you can throw on your shoulders with that top that I was wearing previously, and that
Yeah.
could also work for when you don't really want to carry a coat, but it's not way warm enough to go without. So that could also work. All right, done with these pants, and I'm going to go to the next one.
So someone did, I'll share with you some of the DMs that people wrote to me though about what they've done with their Hermes scarves. So one woman wrote to me and she suggested washing the hell out of it and drying it, shrinking them up, shredding them, and just like making them look so tattered and old that they become something really new and interesting. And I think I'm gonna like give some scarves over to Hannah because I feel like she could really like do something cool there with those. And other people have said they tie them around as a top, like totally great. But again, you need some irony to really pull that off. Other people have framed them, and other people have made them into pillows. And it's really funny the attachment that we get to some of those branded items, and it makes you like I'm very curious why I am so attached to it. I know that. You know, I worked 100 jobs growing up. I saved up forever for that first Gucci bag. Like, I just, you know, maybe 1,000 babysitting jobs to earn enough for my first Gucci bag. And it's funny what we apply to that. And I remember when I moved to New York and worked in advertising at Ogilvy, and then went to American Express. Getting that Hermes scarf was like such a milestone for me. It really was. But it is really real that I wrote you guys. I had 75 people DM me saying, I don't know how to wear this damn scarf anymore. So when you've got something in your closet that you bought for attachment reasons, but it really feels off when you're wearing it, this was our discussion. Now you know why it doesn't feel good. So pillows, real. One day maybe I'll have granddaughters or I don't know. Or DM me. I've got a great scarf for you. I'm going to see what Hannah can do with it first. So, this is good.
Okay, so these are the gray leather knee shorts. They're coming soon. Will probably arrive mid-month. And then I have on this beautiful cable knit green sweater. So here, I feel like with the cable knit, to make it look a little less casual, that's why I contrast it with the shiny grain leather. You can also do this back to a patent leather pant. Obviously, the shoes would change if I did that, but here, a lot of people were asking actually about how to wear a tall boot with this grain leather, and for me personally, I like to do something slim and a little bit of a contrast, because it's going to look really strange if you do like a skinny, if you do a skinny textured leather as well. You can do a skinny patent leather in black with this, and then maybe do an oversized button-down shirt for something a little bit more buy now, wear now, which I'll show you next. But here, it made sense to have a little bit of a contrast, especially with this, you know, weird shade of green. I call this like unrenovated house green. This is one of those colors that you need to have it grounded with something like this. If I were wearing the pants I was wearing before, it would just be a culmination of too many kind of off colors. But here with the black, you just need something like a neutralizer like this heeled boot. And then also I'm going to show you how to make these more buy now, wear now, and then throw a heel on.
Did you talk about the preppy moment in here and how it needs to be counterbalanced
Yes.
as well?
I was also talking about how this like unrenovated house green needs something black rather than like an
that
earth tone.
unrenovated.
No, seriously, my childhood bedroom had this color scheme, and my mom was like horrified. So changed it. Yeah.
Cool. And that's a longer length that you're wearing.
Yeah, this is the longer length. There's also a crop link in this, but this is the longer length here, which can also look great untucked as well.
Great. Okay. Now I am wearing one of the other collars that we did here. And so you have this little French eyelet here, and then it's got a little separate collar to it. And what's really cool is it, hey Ray, do you mind grabbing that, thanks? So it actually has this in the back. Am I in the camera?
Mm-hmm.
Can't tell. Anyway, has these rings in the back and this tie here. But the little collar part is removable as well. And so basically it then becomes this really rich lace bib. And this is one of the items that we are doing just in a direct way, because one of the, the business has really changed since COVID hit, obviously. And we are really focusing a little bit more on the business that we're doing with our key specialty stores and our key department store partners that we still work with, but also working a lot more in a direct way. And one of the things that working direct is allowing us to do is do some really good prices on some things that are extremely rich. And so this is one of those things where to make this collar with the hardware detail, with the grosgrain, with the French lace and the finishing and the full collar, it actually technically would have cost more than a shirt. But doing something like this direct allows us to price it in a place where it's a much friendlier price point, which I don't even remember what it is right now, but I just want to let you know that it is a friendly price point, and I feel really good about it, and it's extremely rich. And it's great because it really can change up any outfit. And I'm wearing a dark shirt underneath it, so you can really see the lace detail, but it's really great. I'll show you in a minute over just a tank as well. But it also means that all of these like suits, all these blazers that are in our closet, you just can wear the hell out of them. Things are about getting the most wear out of your clothing. So a suit that might straight up, you might categorize it more totally as a W, totally in the work field. Once you put this little lace collar on underneath it, it really becomes like, I feel brunch ready, I don't feel like I'm totally ready to give you your performance review right now. Which would be a good one, by the way.
Thanks. Hope so. So I'm wearing the same grain leather shorts, and I'm wearing this beautiful striped shirt that came from our second drop of fall. Here I'm just wearing it to show you with a pump. This is actually the fuzzy pump, so it has a little dose of irony with the classic. So that when I'm doing my CMC ratio, I've got like a lot of modern going on, but since this is a classic shoe and a more modern texture, it still is classic and the chill modern classic. This is our modern, this is our chill, and our classic. So a little bit about this top. This is very similar to the bib that Amy just showed you in the sense that you can take this part off, it actually fastens off in the back, and you can even throw it on top of a blazer or something. So there's a couple of ways you can wear this. So you can still have this bib on, and I think I've shown you this previously, but you can take this and take one layer, just like this, tie once, and you've got like an interesting bib detail here. That's one way to do it. You can also do a double tie if you really want to make this a very interesting and add even an additional dose of modernity here. Just like that. So it gives kind of an interesting scalloping here. Or you can take this bottom layer off entirely and then you just have the chicest high neck blouse, just like this. Also, if I undo this entirely and have it open, you can actually fold it down and tie it under the bottom. Kind of makes it look a little bit more like open neckline, a less high neckline as well, just like this. Or have it down, you can unbutton it and just make it look a little bit more relaxed and casual if you prefer an open neckline. So you got a lot of options here. Also you have this, really generous sleeve here as well. It's not quite a bell sleeve, but it's something that you can really play around with using those hair ties like I'm showing you to pull up the sleeve. And it's got that scalloped hemline we love. That way you can do a nice chic front tuck. Very easy. But here it just really takes this top, which can get very, you know, it can get a little bit more feminine on top, but back to the grain leather, it makes it look really interesting. Also, when we're talking about shoes for these pants, because a lot of people have questions about shoes with these, you can also, if you wanted to do this with a t-shirt and then our ankle strap sandals, which are called the Giro, they're on our end of season sale right now. That could also be a really great way to get a little bit more skin going for these pants, and then back to a t-shirt. Also, you can really take this and break up your suiting and pair a blazer on top of this one as well. We've got a lot of options here, but I just really want people to get in the habit of seeing these as a 12-monther style, because this short really can take you into early spring and kind of, you know, breathe new life into old pieces. Pair it back to a tall boot like I showed you previously, or you can even do a sweatshirt and a loafer or a sneaker here, and it really works out quite nicely. While we're waiting on Amy to get dressed, I just want to show you some alternate colorways and some of the pieces that I've shown you so far. So that green knit that I had in that unrenovated house color also comes in navy blue. I believe Amy wore it on one of her lives a couple of weeks ago. It's just a really beautiful cable knit. And then this is that recycled cashmere I had on in the tan colorway, but now in gray, just to show you the other color options here. Oh, perfect. Oh.
So now I am wearing the little layer here just under a white t-shirt. And what is interesting about this as just a good layering piece is it just can make something a little more dynamic. So, you know, when you've got these pieces that you've invested in, like this great suit, just having this option that gives it a little more dimension, it's just about having options, and it's about making your suit work harder for you. And you can, like I said, this collar actually comes off, so you can wear it without it as well, and it just looks like you're wearing a little lace top underneath it. But you guys, I'm just such a fan about, you know, buying clothes that you wear over and over again. And we know that the jacket works great with denim. We know that it works head to toe. I really, for me, if I were to classify play here as Paris Fashion Week, the reason why this suit is absolutely perfect for Paris Fashion Week is there's just nothing average about it. It's got the little buckles that I could use at the bottom, but right now I'm just wearing it full length. It's a little bit oversized, and you've got the strong shoulder. So really for me, that is my version of play. And absolutely, I would go to dinner in this, and 100% I would go to work in it. But for me, play, going to my kids' hockey match, like, no way I would look like the jerk mom who's like, oh, you work for a living, mom. So anyways, work outside the home.
So I want to talk about this Houndstooth dress for a second, because I know some of you who have been Tibi collectors for many seasons probably have one iteration of this Edwardian style dress. For those of you who are new followers, I just want to show a couple of details here. This has beautiful Edwardian pleating all the way around, and it has an elasticized wrist and a versatile necktie. So you just button it up here, and you can have it completely high and very Edwardian. But here I just have it with my hair tucked a little bit open, because if I'm wearing it back to this tall brown shaft boot, which is coming soon actually, I can actually belt this, and it looks really chic. Because you know how I am normally about belts. I'm like, not everything needs a belt. Belts are always something that stress me out, because I feel like people generally, when in doubt, want to throw a belt on something to make it work, which is not really the most creative. However, here, this really makes it a little bit more polished and a little less boho when you're doing this for the office. That's why I like to do a belt here. But also, if you wanted to do this without a belt, you could do a shiny boot, and that will make it give you that dose of modernity that you're looking for. So here belted, this is that same belt I showed you, but in navy blue. It just looks really chic and put together with this tall brown boot. But if I were doing this without the belt, I think I'd do more of a shiny boot here. So that takes you to work. Also for dinner, I would just do a classic strappy sandal like that white one that I was wearing earlier. But I'm going to show you how I would make this more play. And by play for me and Amy, that means like, you know, frolicking around during Paris Fashion Week. So I'm going to show you how to take this Edwardian dress and wear it multiple times. So 1 second. So I normally don't like to go too far ahead in the future, but we have this bustier that you probably saw in our spring campaign that is in beautiful leather. This one's not coming out until February or March of next year, but I just wanted to show you how you can take a style and update it. So here, this is just that beautiful bustier style. I put it on with these dresses like this that I have in my closet that I've worn and loved, and it makes it all of a sudden interesting and very street style moment. You can even close it up here. That way it actually makes it a little bit more modern. And it gives it a little bit of a different shape. You don't have to do it here with this, but if you have a vintage bustier or something in your closet, you can try this now. Now for me, this is a lot of coverage. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna change shoes.
Wait, can I just ask you a question?
Yeah.
A lot of people have asked me for the bustier tops, what is the perfect bustier top if you have a larger chest?
This.
This one, right?
This one.
Because you've got the seaming detail on it,
Yes.
you've got the elastic in the back.
Yeah, this is really good for busty gals because I don't know how many times I've ordered something off of Etsy that was a vintage bustier and it was literally looked like it was made for dolls. So something like this is really nice because for me, it actually is supportive, but it also doesn't it doesn't do any weird folds or anything like that. So it is the perfect layering piece and it's been really hard for me to find something like that.
So if you guys do love this, do DM us like crazy on it because COVID or not going forward, want not, produce not, we are producing very small amounts. And you guys know when we say small, like we're not joking. We're a small team, small number of styles, small number of units to be cut. So if you love this, let us know so that we can make sure that we'll have you covered.
This also comes in a really buttery ivory as well.
But it is real leather.
It's real leather. And also, for those of you that are always trying to figure out how to take that suit that you absolutely love and then redo it again, try this underneath a blazer or over a blazer, and it looks really chic. But I want to show you what I would do with this if I were actually going to wear this outfit.
I am showing you, this is our heat press. I always call it cold press. This is our heat press sweater. And sometimes sweaters also can be really PDW because you can see like with this pant, and if I tuck it in with the skinny portion of the belt, I took off the wide part. But if you tuck it in, it's absolutely work ready. But because the pant has all that nice slouch to it, and when I slouch it, I can't wear the belt anymore, it's too short. And the sweater is really nice and it's got the frayed ends here. This just becomes like work from home. It's chill, it's easy. I would absolutely jump on a plane in this. It's so cozy. So this sweater absolutely goes from to work and it goes to play, and I think it goes to the right dinner.
For sure.
Yeah. I mean, you've been together for a while.
Yeah. So this, I wanted to give you a little bit of more skin here since I closed this up and I have this fullness here. Also, if I were doing like a tall black boot, I feel like it would be really aggressive back to the leather bra. So that's why you want to kind of have a little bit of contrast, and that's why I have this furry shoe. I could also even do a flat loafer here, or if you want to make this more dinner, you could do a strappy shoe, and it takes a day dress and makes it more nighttime. I also have my earrings in still, so I have a little bit of shine. But also for those of you who are a little bit bustier and need a little bit of openness, if you are going to open this up, just pull it out to the side here, just a hair, so it just kind of stays relaxed and open. It's just a really chic way to wear this. Because I'm all about cost per wear and repurposing the items you already have, and I know so many people have tagged us in this dress from previous seasons, so it's a really cool way to update this for sure. Also, a few other colorways too, and other styles. styles. So basically that chalky drape black top that I showed you also comes in this beautiful fresh white, which is perfect for those of you who like a nice year-round top. It pairs back nicely to all of our suiting quality pants, tucked in, and it's a really great, interesting underpinning, undersuiting as well. Just has those functional snap details and just really chic shell to wear as well. We really like for our tops that are sleeveless to really operate as a shell or just a regular item top. Also, that same striped shirt that I have in the Jacob stripe also comes in this clean button-down shirt that actually has an interesting detail. Some of you who have been with Tibi for a while probably recognize it. There's actually an additional button. This is also in the mild shirting, so it also comes in a classic weight. But I do really like the menswear stripe, especially the contrast to leather pieces. But you can button this over, and you know how I showed you guys that crisscross tuck with that other poplin shirt? This kind of gives you the same idea with that button over detail. Oh, somebody said they want to see this dress with the loafer, so I'm going to slip that on really fast.
We're gonna have models today, so sorry guys. All right, now I am showing you the August Houndstooth pant. Is that right? August Houndstooth pant. All right, and this is the skinny version of it. Now, guys, I'm totally flat ass back here. So really, like when we have more fitted pants, usually I wear a size 4 in them. These are a 4, but if I had some booty, they would be fitting better, right? Our fit model, she's got a nice butt and like it holds everything up. So for me, I get a little bit of droopage here, but I'm cool with that because I like a little bit of slouch, even when something is a fitted pant. But what is really cool with this pant too is it's got the front slits, and I'm just under 5'5", so this is where it's hitting me. But what's cool on these front slits is if you do have a sandal that ties up, you can actually have it come out of the slit here and then tie in the back. So it makes it kind of an interesting little detail. And then I'm wearing the little striped shirt, but I've only got the one collar on. I have the bib taken off because between the slit and the ties and the texture of the pant, it was just a little bit too much for me to have all those different layers on. And then I've got the sleeve rolled up. One other thing I want to show you is I was trying to figure out if there was a way for me to take this pant to play. And I had a hard time really going like play in it because it just feels a little more serious. The cut is a little more serious. One thing that I did do to make it where I felt like I would be totally cool in an airport wearing this was when you do fold it up, one thing that is interesting to look at is, okay, so you've got this slit, right? So if you fold it up the length of the whole slit there like that, and then roll it twice, and of course this is going to change depending on your height, but when you roll it twice there, you create this nice little cuff, and then it becomes a pant like this. So for me, when I had this on and I had on that like cozy sweater, it was airport appropriate, but again, it's not totally play for me. So this is dinner. I would wear a beautiful blouse on with it for dinner and a heel, and it is absolutely for work. So this is a PW, but it's not a PDW.
Also, someone asked about seeing this dress back to the loafers. I took my earrings off because there was a touch too much hardware after doing that. So I see it looks really great with the flat, and also, you know, if you do still want to wear a sneaker, for us the loafer is the new sneaker, but it just really looks nice with the flat and just really chill and easy. And then also, even if I were wearing it just as a daytime, just super easy.
But I'm gonna try the jacket on with the dress.
And these
How many months can you wear that dress?
I think you can wear this dress as a 12-monther, because if I were wearing the strappy sandals Amy was wearing and I had the sleeves pulled up, this is a nice lightweight material. And for me with summer clothing, especially a dress like this, it's not touching anything on my body, so it's nice and airy. I could wear this with a Birkenstock. I could wear this tall boots.
A clean Birkenstock.
Clean Birkenstock, yes.
Yeah, someone asked me, you know, what Birkenstocks are okay to wear. And again, I don't give a shit which ones you wear, but if you want to know which ones, when I wear them, don't feel as clean and modern as I want them to, it's any of the ones that have the cork edge to it. So when they're completely, like even the plastic ones that I have in red, they're $49, right? So I'm not up here advocating that you spend tons of bank on it. But what I'm saying is that one of the things that a lot of you guys are starting to recognize as what has always irked you and you couldn't put your finger on it is when there's just that level of granola, kombuchiness, crunchiness to it, and you want it to feel more modern. So that's why, like, it's not about price, and that makes me insane if you do go to like a department store and they're like, okay, everything on the second floor is between $4.95 and $4,000, and then the next floor is between like $195 and $495. Like, people don't walk in and identify themselves by price point. You identify yourself by your attributes, your adjectives. And so if you are creative pragmatic, that means that you love things that are clean and modern and refined and chill and effortless all at the same time. So it's hard to find that because, you know, that doesn't restrict itself by price point. So within that, yes, it can be the red plastic $39 cheap ass pair of Birkenstocks that you can find at any Target, because it doesn't matter. It's not about price. It's about whether or not things are fitting your aesthetic and your lifestyle.
It's about sensibility, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to change on the next.
Okay. All right, so I am showing you guys now the suit full on. And I think for a lot of you guys who do like to wear our slimmer slip front pants, more fitted, I would suggest that you size down in this, because this is definitely more room than we normally give ourselves. And let me tell you though, it was intentional. I gave ourselves a room because I like the slip front, but I always I wanted to chill it up a little bit, just take it down a notch, and that's what we did. So I wanted to give it some sag. I like this length here in the rise, and that's something important to look at. Going forward for spring, we have been really interested in things that have a little bit of a lower rise. You know, for a long time, every time you saw me, like I came out, everything, like you almost like were walking around with like a permanent wedgie. So everything was up really, really high. It was almost like camel toes were like the new fashion accessory, even though they should never be. So I'm kind of in the mood for things to hit a little bit lower on the waist right now. But what that means is when you go lower on the waist, and when you think, okay, you know what, this is a trend, I'm gonna look for that. What you have to look out for is make sure that you don't have those like just tiny little rises, because when you do that, then all of a sudden you are like Tara Reid 2004, like this. You don't. No one's like talking about the Tara Reid like 2-inch rise trend. That's not happening. But is a lower thing happening? It is. But just keep the long rise.
I feel like it's kind of fun.
Oh my God. Okay, we ordered Chick-fil-A and it came right before we started, and we actually considered postponing live for like an hour so that we could eat this. And I'm gonna fucking kill you. If you ate my sandwich,
We did.
I want to see proof.
I have those fries left. It can be really annoying.
I know.
They're right there.
They're a little cold.
No thanks.
Yes.
I'll get mine out. We have a toaster oven for that.
Yeah.
So this dress, I wanted to show how you can really take this and make it definitely something that you could throw on for work as well. So paired back to this Liam oversized coat, it really chills out this. Obviously, I'd probably cinch it here just because I love that new detail we've had. I'm showing you guys this coat every week. I don't need to elaborate. But here, it just looks like a really chic skirt as well. And what's so great about this tissue faux leather dress is you can absolutely throw an oversized cashmere sweater with these loafers, and you have so many really chic, elegant looks that you can wear with it. And even a tall boot too, it doesn't have to be loafers. But here, it's just something that I can really wear during the daytime, and it doesn't look like too much. And also in black too, you can really take a strappy shoe and dress up this whole look as well.
Yeah.
Also, it has pockets, which is great.
Sorry. You were cross.
mine, the black colorway, it has the correct pleats, and then this one is actually our production sample. So I just wanted to give you an in-depth look at how these knife pleats look on the front, and then I'll show on the back as well. Also, this is called light Loden, so it's kind of that same take that we have on all of our fall colors, which is kind of that old new colors. Like, this is something that is a kind of a very 70s looking color, but it's a little bit lighter, and so it almost operates as a camel would in your wardrobe, which I absolutely love. Oh, cute. But yeah, just a little close up on the pleats.
Okay, so I do want to show a sweater with this, and you can see like it definitely, I'm still not totally in play world, but if, for all of you moms out there and you wonder like, what do I wear when I've got like a conference for my child? And you know, hopefully they're there to tell you that your child's having great behavior, which unfortunately was not what my parents got to experience. But you know, when you go to like a school event, any of those things where you want to be dressed appropriately, you don't want to look like you're headed to Wall Street, and you don't want to look like you're ready to go to a cocktail party. So this is the kind of stuff that you wear. And what's great is this is what you also wear with your black joggers, and you can wear it to the grocery store. And this is what you could wear with a big black file skirt and a strappy sandal, and you've got kind of like an ironic, interesting cocktail outfit. So, you know, again, these sweaters are all PDW because they are refined. They are absolutely eased out, but they are refined at the same time. It doesn't look like I've been rolling in dust, even though the cashmere is fully recycled. So that's what you are striving for there. And we're gonna have one last outfit here. This is one of our
I have one more
favorites.
dress too.
Okay.
So I'm only going to show this style back one way, but because this is from our lookbook, this is actually this bi-material Lana Falcon skirt that you can actually wear tucked in with a turtleneck, and it's got this beautiful sheer burnout. You guys saw me in the dress last week, but here's the skirt, so you can really play around with outfitting. And then I just have on this beautiful sweatshirt that is just a really beautiful fine cotton with the oversized pocket layered on top. That way, all you see, it just looks like a dress basically, so it's really chic and refined. So back to the loafer, it's just a really easy thing that I can wear in the daytime, or even to dinner with a loafer, especially I live in Brooklyn, so I'm probably never going to wear a strappy shoe to dinner. But if I wanted to really elevate this and make it play like in fashion week territory, then I could do just that really nice strappy shoe. And then it makes it big fit skin. Again, just to reiterate what the proportions are like for this.
And to let you guys know, when I talked earlier about how we're taking some things in a either direct-to-consumer way or not totally direct-to-consumer, because, you know, oh my God, my stores like McMullen's and Hampton and Karen Zabed and Printemps, like we love them. But by reducing the amount of third-party stores that we're working with, we can put more of the, we can make the pricing a little bit better and make sure that the quality keeps going up. So one of the things that we're doing with the shoes is exactly that. We have really, really narrowed which stores are going to be carrying the shoes. It really is our best friends that we love and that really understand what a creative pragmatist is. But what it's doing is it's allowing us to price all of our shoes that are made in Italy and are amazing and beautiful to really good price points. And we talked so much about those wolves last week, and I'm really committed to figuring out what are those 3 boots that if you had them in your wardrobe, you could wear every single thing in your closet that you thought you had nothing to go with. So that really is our aim, and we'll keep you posted on our progress there.
Okay. Also showing how a shirt dress that's usually something that can be a little bit more casual, more work appropriate. You can absolutely wear this to dinner if you do like an interesting contrast color like this patent leather red. We've also shown this to you at the live we did at Amy's house with the tall patent leather boots. But even here with the pump, it just looks really modern and interesting. Personally, the elongated collar too just makes it something that's really nice to even layer with something on top too. But here, it's just really nice and chic. And it also does come with a self belt, so that if you want to bring the waist in a little bit more. But even here, solo looks really nice, especially because it doesn't conflict with the corsetry detail. styles here.
All right, so in summary, I'm going to do my splicing and dicing, and that will show up on my Instagram feed where I will give you all the pictures and the words and the captions. Now, just so you know, this is me and a free video splicing app and doing it on the train with a shaky hand. So this is our team, the two guys that you saw earlier. That's our whole team. It's small, we're doing it ourselves. So it could not be real, and it could not be more authentic than this. So it is what it is, and I'm not sure how much better we want it to look. You know, like, I think that doing this ourselves allows us to just react quickly, and small is good. I like
and
it.
unscripted too.
Yeah, I like it
Important
like
stuff.
this. So, all right, thank you guys, and look for the summary on my Insta, and we will have this saved here if I don't fuck it up when